Will atheists go to hell? Before I begin, let me say that your idea of hell is probably inaccurate. Your idea of hell is probably wrong and totally off base. Hell is not a place of eternal torture. As we know, God is necessarily righteous and just, and it would not be righteous or just to punish someone eternally for a temporal crime. With that being said, God is also perfect in all his ways. He will know what punishments are fair and what perfect payment is due for the subjective life that you led, as well as your level of deviation from goodness. Because we are finite beings and have limited knowledge, it is impossible for us to know exactly what these punishments will be or their duration. It may be a steady state, static or constant. It may have levels, meaning it may gradually become less and less painful as you become closer to exiting your hell. It may or may not be physical. It may be a combination of mental and physical suffering. We just do not know. And one of the great things about theistic essentialism is that we never make claims that we cannot prove. So let's go over a few things that we do know before we talk about Christians, atheists, or other religions if they'll go to hell. Number one, hell is real, and it is necessary. Number two, hell will be subjective, the same way heaven will be subjective. For example, the child rapist will not endure the same hell or duration of punishment as a thief. Nor would it make any sense to have one large single objective place for all sinners, because all sinners do not share the same perspective or feeling about everything they encounter, landscape, color, etc., fears, all that. Number three, hell will be just and fair, meaning it will be the appropriate punishment for each person. Not too much, not too little, because God is all-knowing, perfect, righteous, and just in every way. As the ultimate judge, therefore knows what you deserve. So, who will go to hell? This answer may be shocking to you, but it is a fact that every single person will go to hell. That's right. Every single person who ever lived will have some form of punishment for some duration of time. And that afterlife punishment is what we call hell. This hell is individually based and dependent upon a person's life, their thoughts, their actions, their deviation from goodness, etc. The reason everyone will endure some punishment is because everyone is a lawbreaker. No one is perfect. No one is 100% righteous. Thus, no one can escape scot-free and enter directly into heaven. Even theistic essentialists will serve some punishment for their crimes. Even theistic essentialists will go to hell for some duration. The question in this video really becomes, will God punish Christians or Hindus or atheists or other religions more for believing in a fake God or not believing in a God at all? Meaning, will their hell be more intense or extend for a longer time dependent upon their belief about who God is or who God is not? This answer really depends on a person's true understanding, and only God can know this for certain. Only God can know a person's true heart. For example, did this person know who the true God of the universe really was, but they chose to be willfully rebellious and deny this truth for self-serving purposes? Or do they genuinely believe that the Hindu God or Christian God or whatever God they believed in was really real? Here's your answer. If they denied a known truth, they will surely be judged for their level of dishonesty and the reason behind that deception. But if they honestly and genuinely believed in a variation of God who had different attributes or characteristics, etc., God will not hold them accountable for this. You see, one thing you have to remember is, unlike the fake Christian God or other gods, the true God of the universe, the God of theistic essentialism, is not a jealous God. Jealousy is a weakness, and God, by definition, can have no weakness. Clearly, you wouldn't say a person living 10,000 years ago who believed in Thor was responsible for, or who believed Thor was responsible for lightning, that person would be accountable for that in the afterlife, or punished for that belief in the afterlife by God. That makes no sense. That's not fair, righteous, or just. Now, I must point out another critical aspect to all of this. Believing in a variation of God who has slightly different attributes is one thing, but almost always there's a text or belief system associated with each particular God. This is where the danger really lies. Every religion has their own morality code or commandments or duties, etc., that encompass that particular ideology. And if you believe in that particular God, more than likely you're going to follow that text. You're going to follow those rules. It's nearly impossible to say you believe in a certain God, but then turn around and say you don't believe in following that God's word. For example, if you lived in the Old Testament times and you sat at home and believed in the Hebrew God but never subscribed to the text or morality code or narratives associated with it, the true God of the universe wouldn't punish you out of jealousy for that. But the moment that you go against the objective morality code that's in your heart and do something like cut your wife's hands off for grabbing your enemy's balls or stone your child to death for disobedience, etc., that's the moment you've entered into judgment and you've done evil. Because the true God of the universe has revealed truths to you, and you knew right from wrong prior to doing it. You willfully chose to align yourself against these truths and follow a book of lies. These actions committed in the name of your religion will be measured, and you will be subjugated to punishment for those deviations. That is why even though Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, etc. all believe in God, they will all certainly put themselves in danger of enduring a more severe hell because of deciding to follow flawed rules. Now, unlike all the other religions in the world, atheism faces its own unique problem, a higher and even more dangerous problem. Here's why. Everyone knows in their heart that God exists. There's even a Bible verse about this. You can walk outside, look around, and see design and realize God exists. Life cannot come from non-life. Who created the universe? Something cannot come from nothing, etc., etc. Even the layman, even the aborigine that lives in the middle of nowhere, they know that God exists. Everyone knows in their heart that there is a God. So atheism is considerably worse than all other religions, and their hell will bear the fruits of this. How so? Well, not only did they deny the existence of God out of rebellion and selfishness, which was a known truth to them, they also, like all the other religions, threw away the known objective moral standard that God placed in their hearts and subscribed to their own subjective code of morality. So, in conclusion, if your honest pursuit of truth leads you to believe in a different variation of God, and that God's texts or moral standards do not conflict with logic, reason, or the objective morality code that is inside your heart, and that God does not cause you to act or think in a way that is unrighteous or evil, then the true God of the universe is not going to punish you for that. The problem is that's nearly impossible because every religion and God usually has texts associated with him, and that will get you off course and lead you to destruction. The true God of the universe is concerned with justice. A key component is not allowing people to get away with crimes and escape without punishment. The good thing is that ultimately everyone will be freed from hell after they have served their punishment, and then they will be allowed to enter into their heaven. And last but not least, let me say this. Contrary to Christian theology, a person cannot live a life full and rampant of sin, and then at the end of their life on their deathbed, they ask for forgiveness, ask Jesus to come into their heart, and then they get off the hook scot-free without any payment at all for their crimes. That is not justice. So, I see you soon, man. I am the Atheist Killer. Don't forget to check out Theistic Essentialism online. And this sun glare is causing me issues right now. But I love you guys. I'm out. Stay safe. And I'll talk to you later, bro. Peace.